God, if I don't meet my husband before the end of this week. A lot of people are heartbroken by people that they never even dated.
Myself, Maka, you have heard.
So the story centers around a girl named Abidemi.
Abidemi was my fear in the past. Imagine somebody and saying they don't find you physically, they don't find you attractive.
I will know that the problem is them.
Pressure is getting worse. I feel like when a man is not somebody's type, they'll say he has audacity. Amata had audacity. It was a lot actually. Does anybody act like this in real life?
How? Caring.
Like, waited for her.
They are nice men who receive it.
I receive in the name of Jesus.
Rest
as in
the allowance that allows me to rest.
Philippians 4:16 allowance. God, if you know you want me to follow you, don't test me some things.
Another woman's husband is not your husband.
Lord help us.
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ezinne Zara, and today we have the delectable, the beautiful, the amazing, the gorgeous, the talented, so maybe.
Thank you guys. I'm so honored. My heart is grateful.
For those who are just finding this video and my channel for the first time, this is my sister. We've done like a couple of videos on my channel already, and I told you guys that this year
our channel at this point
today we're going to be reviewing the Nigerian movie Last to Marry by Laju Iren Films.
Lord help us.
This was not even in my content calendar at all. Right?
Yeah. You literally just texted me. I was like, we have to review
When
this.
I saw the movie, I was like, oh my goodness. I was picking up my phone to text my sister, and then I saw her ranting about it.
On my WhatsApp status.
I was like, bro, we have to actually sit down and review it. We're going to be talking about the whole movie. We're going to be sharing what we think about the characters and just what we think about the love story in general.
And the points that were basically being passed across.
Yeah. And we're going to put a link to the movie in the description box so you can go and watch it. If you haven't, I am begging you. Whilst you're watching this video, if you're enjoying this commentary and you want us to review more movies, let us know in the comment section, and you can also let us know by giving the video a thumbs up and subscribing to this channel. So the movie starts off with a pop the balloon,
which I actually found interesting.
Yeah, why?
Because like it's very modern and like I was like, pop the balloon here.
Yeah, so it starts off with pop the balloon. If you guys have ever seen any pop the balloon on the internet, and if you say you've never seen it, you are lying.
Actually, like it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Okay, wait, to the movie. So now they are basically critiquing the character. What's her name again in this thing? Abidemi. Thank you.
So the story centers around a girl named Abidemi. Go ahead.
So Abidemi is basically a Christian woman. She has lived her life for God. Abidemi was my fear in the past. Abidemi has lived her life for God. She has, just served God, loved God all her life, and now she has gotten to a point in life where it's like, reality is hitting her, that things are going on. So now she's on this pop the balloon show where these men, which is also so scary. I said I can never go for that pop the balloon. Why? I will stand. You imagine somebody standing and saying they don't find you physically, they don't find you attractive. I
will know that the problem is them.
The whole lineup of men, it's just the audacity for me. I don't want anybody the chance to disrespect me personally. And there are a bunch of men now pointing out things that and saying certain flaws that it's not when I said over 33. It's not when I said I should not want to ever do anything. It's not when and she's just standing there so humble, like it is me. That's basically how it starts out.
And then her mom calls to add pressure to everything, and now starts berating her like, oh, when are you going to get married? She was even trying to share some good news like, oh, my company has allowed me to own property, and her mom wasn't even into that. So I wanted to ask you, what do you think about single women having like a lot of success before they get married? What do you think?
I think that it's a very beautiful thing. I think how we grew up was with a mentality of them saying, oh, you should only grow yourself to a certain limit so that a certain type of man will be able to see you and meet you there. Like if you are too developed or too grown, that nobody would want you. And I feel like the person that does not want me is not a person I'm even aspiring for, because I've obviously passed that level. So I don't think there's anything wrong. To
be honest, sometimes I pity men, especially in this generation, because I feel like women are getting so empowered these days. Especially with the rise of like social media and access to social media. So a lot of women have been able to take their businesses online. A lot of women are also just like full-time content creators. They are making a lot of money. And I feel like those brick and mortar jobs that used to exist back in the day don't really exist as much. And then whilst we are having men, graduate from uni or finish school or try to get into the workforce, we still have these older men who have not left those positions.
Fair enough.
So the job opportunities are slimmer, so to speak, for young men. Yeah, so sometimes
I never even thought about that.
Hey!
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
You guys have refused to allow me rest, so we had to bring you back again. Hi, my name is Ezinne Zara, and my live YouTube masterclass is back again, but for the last time. It has been an amazing opportunity to train hundreds of creators with the tips and secrets needed for transferable success, not just on YouTube, but on other social media platforms. Many of who have gone on to create amazing content, and some even to finally launch their own YouTube channels. You're going to be learning how to get started on your YouTube journey, how to get copyright-free music and sound, how to create eye-catching thumbnails, what community building is and how you can master it, how to get ideas for the type of videos you should create, the 7 different ways to monetize your content and begin to earn a living from it, and so much more. Classes are now open, but seats are limited, so make sure you run, not walk into the class. We are starting in 5 weeks. I'm really excited because I already know it's going to be an amazing time, and I cannot wait to see you in class. She's on the phone with her friends, and I'm sorry, but this conversation, I wasn't feeling it, to be honest.
Why? It was not realistic, I mean.
Yeah, it was not a realistic conversation.
Yeah.
I felt like
how you talk with your friends.
Yeah. So she's basically just telling them like what she wants in a man and all of that. And what do you think about her list?
What you say? I think she was asking for like the basic thing. I was like, my sister, when I went to guess now, you said a Christian man. What she say against someone that will support her?
Yeah.
Somebody that are you asking for much? No.
I think we should ask the men, is it too much for women to want a man that is God-fearing, wealthy, kind, and faithful? Is that
not
too much?
Because the female versions are alive. So like in this particular sense, she's talking to her friend about B, so that as long as a man like BA exists, she will never stop dreaming that BA is Christian, he's wealthy, like he has a job.
Her boss.
Yeah, he's her boss. I was like, I don't think I support that. Like,
I don't support office romance.
Yeah, keep it professional, my own opinion.
Personally, I don't support office romance.
She's not talking about this being that is a very handsome man that she wants to profess love to him. I said, my sister, is that how?
What do you think about shooting shots?
Please, no. See, even in the way she did it, no.
I don't believe in shooting your shot because I feel like, see, it's not by shooting your shot. If it's meant to be, to be. If it's not meant to be, to not be. You can shoot your shot and he'll be like, sorry, no. And he'll even be like, you are in the way, please come out. It's the person behind you that I'm actually looking at. The person who did not even put in any effort, did not even shoot any shot. I just believe that shooting shots is kind of like taking the lead.
Yeah.
And that is the man's job.
Yeah, I genuinely believe it's very masculine. And I just will never see myself shooting. Maybe it's pride. Maybe it's pride. But
it's not pride.
Maybe it's pride, but this particular one, I'm
it's
okay.
It's not pride. I just think that our generation has lost the art of subtlety, like being subtle.
Yeah.
We think that everything has to be ho-ha. Yeah. State your mind, say what you feel, be so aggressive, and it's like you don't really need to be, you know. But thankfully, before she has a chance to ruin her life, his fiance comes in.
Looking at him, she's a very good actress, so I have to give her that.
Yeah, Juliana is a good actress. Yeah, I feel like this scene was very funny because when he was like, "This is the future Mrs." I can't remember his surname that he mentioned. She was like, "Oh, you didn't tell me your father is looking for another wife."
Yeah. The way she was acting so oblivious. Do you know the funny part when she now said, "Oh, she's engaged," when she was not engaged? The pressure is getting worse.
Can we just talk about why it is so dangerous to like fixate on one person and just start having like daydreams about them? Because a lot of people are heartbroken by people that they never even dated.
Yeah, before you even start talking to person dating, you're already dating them in your head. So immediately she gets home, she now calls her 3 musketeers, like they call them.
Yeah.
And she's basically just narrating how she just found out that he's married, a lot of those things. Fast forward, they're crying, and she was like, oh, that no, I actually really felt touched by that. Why did you overlook me? Like, and I was just trying to get into her head to imagine what that could feel like. Like, imagine being a woman, you might even feel like you're not good enough, or that kind of thing. So I was like, she was just basically pointing out her heart and being like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? And then she finished and she turned to God. She said, you.
But you know, that was the most touching part of the whole like film for me.
How so?
Like, how many times have we been in a situation where we're just like God and you just cry out to God? See, I think that sometimes we try too hard to be good Christians. You know, while God would expect me to have faith, God would expect me to feel peace, God would expect me to not worry. But the thing about it is that sometimes the strength you are looking for will be found when you cry out.
Yeah, in that vulnerability.
Yes, it's not from where you talk yourself into peace or talk yourself into feeling, okay, I shouldn't feel this way. I know how many people, like, I mean, my friend Delphine shares her testimony all the time of how she knew who her husband was.
Yeah, I've watched the story.
Yeah, I'm going to link it in the description box so you can watch it. But God, like, had not opened his eyes yet, and she was praying about it. Okay, I believe God, I trust God. But one day it just got too much, and she just cried out to God, and she groaned, and she was just like, God. And that was the afternoon that his eyes opened, and then he now started pursuing her. They got married. They got engaged a month later, and then got married 6 months later, and then had their first baby like a year later. So sometimes you just need that God, like, crying out. You know, I'm not a fan of, like, you know, Pastor Lawrence Oyor will say you are masking in the open and you are masking in the secret place as well. So sometimes that crying out is what actually turns the tide. I don't know what it is about it.
I think it's the heart posture.
Yeah.
I think it's the heart posture for sure. So that was basically that for that particular scene.
No, we're not done talking about that scene now.
Okay, what?
Can't you remember what she said? That she said, God, if I don't meet my husband before the end of this week.
I said, this girl, your own ultimatum is crazy.
When we are praying, God is not the only one listening to us.
Because tell me the coincidence, all of a sudden, my stuff, Maka. You have heard, literally. I'm making certain prayer points, but it's not from your heart posture is not in the right way. It's very easy for Satan to now bring a lot of things, and that's why she was very confused. She was just all over. She could not even recognize that these were counterfeit. I feel like there was such a desperation that she had prayed from, and not like an actual, like, honest.
No, but it's good she prayed from there. Like,
from desperation.
Yeah, that she emptied herself before God. But the truth about it is that when we empty ourselves like that, we now need to know that, okay, God is going to move in response. So we have to be discerning. I don't think it was wrong
What I think was, I might be wrong, let me know if I'm wrong, what I don't think was okay was saying that, oh, it must happen by this time. Because you don't know the time that God moves with.
Fair enough.
So that's where I feel like desperation was coming from, not necessarily from, oh, her wanting it. It's like, it must happen now, it must happen now, it must happen now. You don't necessarily know God's own timing. So I feel like that was where that desperation was from. I was like, okay, you want to run it this week, I will help you run it this week. Because how did this man just appear from nowhere? But there was something she said that I'm 34, there are a lot of emotions that are coming up now in my life. I don't have a husband.
Even
what do you want me
my
to do
body
with it? Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think there's a reason why scripture says to not stir up love before its time. Yeah, we are Christians, we know what love, we know that love is God, and love is kind, love is patient, love is 1 Corinthians 13, is a lot deeper than that. But on the physical level, when you do have feelings for someone that goes deep and that is love, there is sexual desire and sexual attraction. I've spoken about it before, where I've said that your sexual attractions are not demonic. They are supposed to be put under control. Yeah. Because even after you get married, it's not like marriage cures your sexual attraction or cures your sexual desire. Because a lot of people think that, okay, once I get married, I'll never struggle with lust again.
Yeah, I've said that thing also.
Marriage is not the solution. The solution will always be self-control and yielding to the Holy Spirit, right? So that's the reason why sometimes God is like, don't even try it, because you can't miss what you don't know. You can't ache for what you don't know. And that prayer that, Abidemi prayed came from a deep place. Do you understand? Like, God, I'm trying to do this the right way. Help me to help you to help me. Just kind of enter the first love interest. Amata is the matter.
Amata pissed me off. From the moment I saw him, I was pissed off.
Telling her.
First of all, I'm sorry. I feel like there's a difference between audacity and, like, you know how. Wait, hold on. So I feel like when a man is not somebody's type, they'll say he has audacity. When it's the person's type, they'll say he's what they say. Amata had audacity. He was audacious. Do you know how you can be so single that you become clueless when somebody's trying to toast you? That was her. That was my favorite part. Because she was like, let me be going to work. It's when he said, oh, I don't take no for an answer.
The same day she met the first love interest, Amata, is the same day she met the second love interest.
That's true. That's true.
You know.
I was rooting for that man. I was rooting for him low key. If he could just give his life to Christ.
He's married.
And leave that woman.
No, we do not support that.
Actually. He should have done better, Sha, with him. He should have maybe been single and unsaved or something.
No, I think that this story is perfect.
See the way he's looking at her.
Actually, that was quite an intense story.
She now goes home.
And this guy walks into her apartment. I was so confused, like, how did you get the key? Another red flag, he says he's not a patient guy.
Did he say that?
Yes, he says, I'm not a patient guy.
Because that guy sounded like, I really want you. Is that how they just started dating?
Yes, that was something else. I didn't
like,
see where he actually asked her out.
Where he asked her where
stated his intentions, or where she even prayed about it.
I promise you, I was waiting throughout where she like knelt and say, oh God, you are not this the because guy? She went to God ranting, and now you have seen people, you're not praying about it. I was very confused about that. I can't even like.
Yeah, like the next scene, they were drinking juice.
They were dating. I'm like, I don't see you asking me any question. I don't see you test his character. I don't see nothing, but he came to tell you I'm not patient. You just said, okay, means I'm not patient soon. So now she's on a video call with her friends. You know how you just be like, oh, this is my man, that kind of thing. Meant to be very cute though. I promise you, this thing shocked me. It didn't shock me. He said, whose identity are you spoiling out? Whose image are you tarnishing? Look at how he snatched the phone.
He snatched the phone. He cut the call.
That's like, very disrespectful.
Yeah, it was very disrespectful. Let me just say this right now and right here. If you're with a man that runs you down and you are not yet married to him, open the door. Go outside. Close the door. Seal it. And don't look back.
Do you know what? First of all, this switch up was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, because I think it was her first encounter with his alter ego. Maybe we'll name that one Apata. So she met Apata. And Apata is not nice.
And can we talk about the fact that she started calling him?
Why? So she's crying. She's tossing and turning. See, let me promise you, nobody should ever take your sleep. If there's one thing you secure for yourself, your sleep.
Woke up, went to office, she was groggy the next day. And
in our city, This was when they showed TJ's full character.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot actually. Let anybody act like this in real life.
How? Caring.
Like, he called the boss immediately, took her home, waited for her.
They are nice men who receive it.
I receive in the name of Jesus.
He takes her home, he makes food for her to eat, he comforts her. Then as if it was not enough.
Oh, this part, I promise you people, wait, I'm not even trying to exaggerate. When this part happened, I just turned to God. I said, God.
I turned to my husband who was watching with me. I said, we have unlocked a new allowance. It's called rest allowance.
As in
the allowance that allows me to rest.
Philippians 4:16 allowance. Hey, I said, God, if you know you want me to follow you, don't test me some things.
Jokes.
Please, jokes. And she's saying, I cannot take this.
I said, so it.
Bring it. I feel like at this point, obviously, which one was upset. She already knew that he probably liked her.
So this is where I think she was wrong. She knew he was a married man.
She kept entertaining
and she kept entertaining him. Ladies, please.
Yeah.
Draw those boundaries. Like, that's where I feel like she went wrong with this TJ guy. So even to the point that went on that long to where he started talking to her about a relationship, about her being a second wife. I'm just like, girl, you deserve to be the first, the priority, the only choice. You are nobody's backup plan. You are not a plan B. You are not a second wife. Remove that from your mind, unless the first wife is dead.
A lot of boundaries. First of all, why are you and a married man even disclose? He's waltzing in and out of your house as per what besties. Then he's professing feelings to you. You are sitting there. You know he likes you. He's married with children. Yeah. He's like this. You're telling you since I was in the SS1. I like being so vulnerable. I just don't think it's right. I personally don't think it's right either. Again, another woman's husband is not your husband. I was literally listening to a YouTube video by Pastor Laju today where she was talking about how to identify your God-given husband. She literally said that also. Oh. Yes, that another woman's husband is not your husband. Even though you've dreamt and you say you saw him, go and dream again because God's not author of confusion. Yes, so if I'm not saying she's not a Christian, no, but like I feel like if she was acting within that premises of like being a proper outright Christian. She was not praying this. I don't know where
I was just about to say that. Did you notice that since her prayers
she not pray
were
again.
answered, she stopped praying?
Like she was just not praying. She started moving based on her own intuition.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay. What did he come to her house to do on this day?
He came to check
up.
her now.
It's just too much. Like at this point, you already know he's married.
I saw that trying to tell him, do you believe in Jesus? He said, I believe in you. I said, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from every evil. And then the next day, she's talking with her friends. They're asking her, how is your relationship with, Amata going? And she's like, oh, it's great.
It's going so well.
I was wondering, like, why is she
I was like, why are you forming for your friends?
If you truly believe that the relationship that you are in is from God, you should not be afraid to present it in the light.
I definitely agree.
If you feel like I can't tell my mentors about this person I'm dating, I can't tell my senior sister about this person I'm dating, I can't tell my brothers about this person I'm dating, I don't want anybody to pray with me. I don't want anybody to hear God for me. I've already heard God on my own. Like that is an indication that something is wrong. So I think that the fact that she didn't want to open up to her friends about what was really going on in her relationship showed that something was wrong. And so if you're someone and you find that you are being overly protective of your relationship, like you don't want people to look in, you don't want anybody to come close, you are so scared of what they are going to find. Okay, so as she's talking to her friends, he now, he walks in, comes in, and he's like,
he's just acting like nothing happens. Like, oh, babe, how are you? That thing pissed me off because, like, are you sick? So he now acting like nothing happens. Like, oh, babe, how are you? Why are you acting like that? Like, gaslighting, like, oh, why are you being strange? Like, He said, anyways, I'm going inside the house. Obviously, she ran now to go and meet her master. So she Amata Apata the master. She now went inside the house.
So maybe if makeup does not work, you can do stand up.
She went into the house. He was waiting for her. His alter ego had now come out in full form. Guys, Apata, this is still Abidemi in her cute Delulu era. So she's happy that, like, okay, they're already getting, like, making progress. And the next thing he says is, this your outfit though? She's like, oh my God, you like it? He says, this is too much. You look like a pro. She just said,
and her response was, wife?
Because he said no wife or man will ever just like a pro. She said, wife? He said wife.
So after she says wife, he brings out
I think we should let this particular scene play on the screen.
I saw this one day and I was like, I mean, it's not like she deserves it, but I know what God told me to do. So I won't mind your bad behavior.
He brings out a ring. He's like, oh, you don't deserve this. Like, it's the worst thing ever.
She was just shaking because, the ring. And then, though, to be honest, when he said, it's not like as if she deserves it, her face changed. And she was a bit like, and it was like, it's what God told me to do. Now, this was so toxic to me. Let's even assume that this is true. Is it that because God asked you to do something, you just do it anyhow? And I think he now puts the ring on the table and I said, wear it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've witnessed the most audacious proposal in the history of proposals.
So she has two dreams where she sees like two realities with them. In the first one, she's married to Amata. And, things are not going very well. One time when she even asked me a question,
wait, hold on. Okay, because we're already there more or less. That thing shocked me. And he gave her a dirty slap.
He gave her a dirty slap. I think she had told him that he should move his office from upstairs so they can rent out the space. A wise financial suggestion. He I said, even me and the same way, we're like, we literally screamed.
He said that, are you not meant to even give me all your properties as
a good wife?
I said, So the reality with Amata was that she was going to do the ministry she wanted to do and chase after God, which wanted to chase after God, but she was going to be physically, mentally, emotionally abused for the rest of her life and manipulated. TJ's own reality. She was very taken care of, very loved. He was doing his best to be there for her. But then it now came to the spiritual aspect where, you need
she was
complete,
pregnant.
yeah.
And she said God told her that she had twins. And that they were going to
even
serve.
the way he just, that's a major fear I have. Like, imagine being with a husband that cannot lead you, that you cannot come to and discuss things of the spirit, and he also understands. Because we're just like, when the beginning she was talking about like, oh, God told me, look at the way he rolled his eyes. I was so disgusted. I was like, oh my God, no. Like,
please, I'm not down for all of these things. My children do not belong to your God.
Yeah.
What I found interesting was that he accepted the prophetic word but rejected the influence of God over his family. So he said, oh, so I'm having twins.
Yeah.
And she was now sad. So she saw that it was not going to work out with either guy. So she went to see a counselor who was Pastor Laju Iren.
So she goes to meet her counselor and she's just basically telling her dilemma that, see, I have tried for God and I have tried for men. That now she has been searching all her life, and she has finally come now. Two very promising men are before her, but they both have faults. She told the fault of Amata. She told the fault of TJ. And Pastor Iren is just dropping bombs. She basically advises her, and what does PL basically say?
So PL basically says, you've said that you have 2 options, but you actually have 3. And I find that interesting because when she said I only have 2 options, I was like, no girl, you have 3 options. And one option is to be single. I know that being single is hard, but I know that it is better to be single and thriving than to be married and unhappy. And there are so many unhappily married people. Being a wife and being a mother is a great calling, but it's not the only calling. If God has given you a promise for marriage, you're going to be married one day. So there is no point wasting the time that you have pining for a future that is certainly going to come. There are 5 different areas of your life. You have your spirituality, you have your physical, you have your mental, you have your finances, and you have, let's say, relationship. And let's say relationship is not really moving. But all these other ones, they can move. So instead of just being stagnant all round.
Okay, that makes sense.
Do you understand? Until you now get married, you now want to start increasing your finances, you want to start spending time with God, you want to start, working out, you want to start doing all these things. It's like, no, you can start doing all of those, like all the other ones that are already, you can start moving forward in all those areas. And then by the time you are, the door for your marriage or whatever opens, it will just meet you as a fully formed person. And that's why I really love how the movie ended, because that was what, like, as Pastor Laju was speaking to her in the movie, I was saying, oh my goodness, do you know whether you will find your husband in the place of your assignment? Because a lot of times, right, the promises of God are dependent on our obedience to the things that God has already asked us to do. So she was saying she had always dreamed about having like a ministry with her husband and touching the lives of young girls. I'm like, why can't you start it now?
Like, why? I was actually working, like, why was she waiting to be married?
Why are you waiting to be married to start doing anything? Start doing it now. And when your husband comes to meet you, he can join you in it. And that's the difference between men and women, right? Like, men are never waiting for their wives to come and meet them before they start living their lives. They are building their companies, they are working, they are doing so many things.
Taking care of themselves, eating well. They're not waiting to be married. They'll not say, okay, I'll start eating well when I'm married. Like,
or I'll start working out, or I'll start,
Then we now see her pray for the first time since she arrested God at the beginning. Okay, so after she had spoken to her counselor, so she had gotten some form of clarity that, okay, it does not have to be either of these 2 people. Like, I actually have a choice. And she basically just called it off with
2 of them.
She began doing what God would now have her do. She started chasing her ministry. And they tried to chip in that she met her husband. They did not show his head.
They did it in a very mysterious way. That one guy walked into
her house and said, oh, I heard that
God, something going on here.
And I want to contribute to it. And that was basically. So you could tell that while she was doing what God would have her do, or fulfilling her assignment, she now met the man God would have her meet at God's timing. This was not that 1 week she told God.
No, it was not.
God's timing. So that's basically the whole review. I think it was a very.
And I think there was something that PL said. She said, "Last to marry is not a fool." And that was good. Because I just think that waiting can be hard, but we can make waiting easier when we decide to wait well, not just waiting.
Not just wait idly.
Yeah, not just like waiting is not inaction. It's actually action. So if you truly believe you are going to get married, how are you preparing to be married? When we read about the Proverbs 31 woman, scripture says that she's a woman who had many businesses and could take care of her household at the same time. She rises early in the morning before the sun. Not asking you to please have your 9 hours of sleep, but they're just talking about how hardworking she is. Not that you have to literally rise up before the sun, but she rises up before the sun. Her candle is lit late into the night. She gives instructions to her maid servants. Scripture says that she brings purple cloth from merchant ships from afar. She looks at a piece of land and buys it.
She's getting established.
And this is a married woman, and because of how hardworking and wealthy she is, her husband is respected at the city gate. So please, ladies, this idea of I'm just going to wait when my husband comes, my knight in shining armor, he will now give my life meaning. No. You already have value. Your life is already waiting to have meaning with or without a man.
Period.
Let us know what you think in the comment section below. If you've watched this movie before you saw our review, what did you think about all of the characters? And do you relate to any of the characters, whether as a man or a woman or as a friend, as any of the friends, I
think as a friend, I'm trying to imagine being this girl's friend. I feel like I'll be very upset a lot of times. I'm that kind of friend, I'll tell you how it is.
Don't forget to like this video.
Subscribe. We'll see you.
We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
I bless you, Lord, you are holy, and forever you are God. Hey!
The oppression goes on daily, guys.
What oppression?
Because I cannot sing.
What are you saying? You are the one who got invited to sing in
school. I used to be able to, but I can't sing anymore. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Ezinne Zara Show.